Hi everyone. We are here with the first public Zoom. This means that within the group of Destiny, for almost a year, we had some Zoom records just instead of the written chats. And we created this to meet with each other because we are living all over the world and to discuss certain topics, just what comes up and to share ourselves within that. And it turned out to be very nice and intimate sharings, like flowing, intimate, and relevant sharings, where everyone gets some time to do a say. So not only one is only talking and the rest listening or something, but really everyone gets some time to share. So the ones who are a bit shy comes a bit forward, the ones who talk a lot goes a bit backward, and so we have a nice sharing in that. And because we liked it, the idea came to go and share the Zoom records for public. So if anyone is interested what a Estonian may talk about with each other, then you can watch the Zoom. So here we are. And today we continue with the topic about Bitcoin. That's not my expertise. So we are here with the other three that are the expertise in this. And before with another host, there were a few Zooms about Bitcoin, and now we decided to make a public Zoom about it and create a Bitcoin account live with me. So I'm really starting at zero. I have no idea how to make it, and we decided to do this here so that the ones who are interested also see that it is possible just with some support to open and create it. But first we go to one of you. Hi, Daniel, Adrian, and Kelly. I'm Ingrid. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Ingrid. Hi. Just a bit searching for when it's public now. And they are going to introduce first a bit of the basics about Bitcoin or whatever they want to share. So who is willing to take the first step in that?
I guess that's me. So yeah, we're starting, I guess, a little bit with a little recap on what is Bitcoin. We have talked about this in previous chats, and there's lots and lots of material online that explains in more detail what Bitcoin is and how it works. So I definitely encourage everybody to go and look at things for themselves if they're able to. But the basics of it that you really need to know is that Bitcoin is money. It is a deflationary kind of money, which functions in the opposite way that our current money system does, in that when more people participate and use Bitcoin, the value of everybody's Bitcoin becomes more. So whereas the United States dollar and other currencies are essentially what you could call a Ponzi scheme, where the system is, by its very design, rigged against the average person and set up so that inevitably certain people in society are the only ones really ever winning the game of the economy and having power and control in this world. So if those reasons aren't already obvious, this is the reason why I support Bitcoin, and I encourage everybody to utilize Bitcoin, because the more we utilize and support Bitcoin, the less we are utilizing a system that is guaranteed to support inequality and create abuse in all kinds of forms in this world. So basically, Bitcoin, cool. And if you ever actually want to make a difference in this world financially and take financial responsibility, then I would consider it your best bet as far as a sound investment and a way to to build some real capital for yourself with which you can actually go and have a positive effect and influence in this world, which if you're a Dystonian, you ought to be doing that because you're a great person. Okay, so I guess we're here to do a little tutorial now today, how to set up a Bitcoin wallet, which is very easy. So if anybody just follows what we're about to do now, then you too will be able to start sending and receiving Bitcoin with us and participating and seeing what it's all about and seeing that it's all actually really easy, that you don't need to be an expert necessarily per se, and that really there are no experts, you know, like even myself, I'm like by no means an expert on Bitcoin. I just have a lot of experience using it, so I can maybe save people a lot of time and money and mistakes and things by just sharing some perspectives. So, Ingrid, you want to break out your phone and we'll set up a wallet live on the internet. The original decentralized technology.
I'm a bit nervous.
That's okay. I was too. I literally got the shakes for a second before I started talking. I'm also drinking coffee, so.
Could be. Okay. I'm on my phone and I have internet.
Okay, so I guess what kind of phone have you got there?
Samsung.
Okay, so I guess you have to go to the Google Play Store, I believe.
Aha.
And so I'm just recommending the wallet that I personally use. I don't know all the wallets that are available, so you know, if you guys want to try certain wallets, that's cool. I just won't be able to give any perspective on it because I only know really quite well this wallet that I use, and the reason I use it is because it's very secure. It's a really bulletproof wallet, so I like it. And it's really easy to use. It's probably my favorite thing about it. Cool. So the wallet that I use is called Exodus, just like in the Bible, because that's what we're doing. We're having a mass exodus from the money system.
So I need to find this, what is it? This app with Exodus.
Yeah, EXODUS.
Yeah.
Exit us.
Exodus. Right. Exodus privacy. Do I need to install it? Exodus.
Yes. Yeah,
like this,
exactly.
Right?
You will. No, that looks like something else. The icon, yeah, there you go. The icon should be like a blue
X
and white
kind
of thing.
Okay, I will look further. Exodus crypto Bitcoin wallet. It should be. Right? Cool.
That's it. That's the one.
I go install it.
Ingrid, do you also have a way to send notes between your phone and your computer easily?
And notes to what area?
Notes to, like, I'm using a Google Keep Notes. It just as a way to be able to quickly send an address into the cloud so that I can access it from a different device. That can be handy sometimes.
Not easily. I then do this with my Hotmail, but it's not like very practical, but it is possible.
Yeah, you can just put a draft in your email. That works.
So then I open that as well.
That kind of machine.
Couple of pinkos over here.
60%, a few more. Okay, maybe you can share again, Adrian, what you said before we started the record, that about this little money that you can basically send any amount. Maybe that's cool too.
Oh yeah, yes. Actually, that's also important, just so people understand that you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. People don't normally work in terms of like amounts of like units of one or more. Because the price of Bitcoin is very high right now, and that can discourage some people from getting into it. But a lot of people don't realize that you can buy any amount of Bitcoin. Usually you can send and receive any amount of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what you call infinitely divisible. So you can send a fraction of a penny if you want to. You could send 0.00001 of a penny if you wanted to in Bitcoin.
Cool.
So yeah, so you know, and that's what a lot of people do when they get into Bitcoin, is maybe they don't have much money to put into it, so they just put in maybe just like $50 a month or something, and they just sort of average that amount out. And it might not seem like a large amount of money, but if you do that consistently for a year, then, you know, before you know it, you put in $600 in savings. And that's not just $600 in any savings, that's $600 in Bitcoin. So then one day, if you have a nice price jump, then that money could 5x or 10x even. And then next thing you know, through having a bit of foresight and just putting in $50 a month, you've made a little chunk of money that is like, you know, you could really do something with in your life.
Cool. And 1 Bitcoin, what is the amount? How much is that?
The last I checked, the price of 1 Bitcoin was about $15,300 American.
Wow.
And it's up. Yeah, and the price is up from about $10,300 from just a month ago. So if anyone's watching this now, like if you guys have been listening to us or paying attention at all, you know, in the last little while, then there was a real opportunity there where, yeah, if you put in maybe $1,000 a month ago, then today you would have $1,500. You would have made $500 out of virtually nothing, just because you had money to put into it. So, and that might not seem relevant to people who like need money because they're maybe working jobs and they're just surviving on their own, you know, like some money might not seem relevant to people that aren't maybe in more of a survival position because their needs are taken care of. You know, maybe you live in somewhere in Europe and your government gives you a nice local, you know, paycheck for you to live on, and it doesn't seem like this is a relevant topic to you. But I would encourage, again, if you're a Distonian and you know better and you see the ways in which we could practically sort out this world, then, you know, making money becomes a very cool point where it's not about your survival, it's about moving beyond your survival and supporting other people who are still stuck in survival and standing for them on their behalf. So,
and supporting potential solutions.
Yeah, supporting potential, yeah. Exactly.
To the system that maybe supports some while exploiting the many.
Yeah, so, yeah. So I would say even if it's not your interest per se, it's maybe even something to look at more as like a responsibility point.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Because yeah, it's not
just about what can I get out of this, but it's also about what can I support in this world to exist as a potential solution to the way things are, and also benefit from it, you know, personally.
Yeah, that goes one-on-one, right? Yeah, cool.
Because it's not necessarily an interesting subject in and of itself, right? Like I always tell people, I don't necessarily care about or even like money, honestly, like dealing with money itself.
Economics.
But what I do really like is taking that money and turning it into real things that I can support, you know, that make an actual difference in this world for better. That I love, you know. So through that, money's become a relevant thing.
Yes. Good point. Good point. Okay, shall I open it? It is downloaded, installed.
Yeah, I just realized that I can actually open mine too because I don't have any money in it. Normally I keep, you know, my Bitcoin private.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend going out there telling people, "Oh, I have Bitcoin. I'm a Bitcoin holder." I mean, that's part of the undertaking with Bitcoin is you are your own bank, so you start having to think about, you know, your own security.
Just the same way you don't want to be like, I have $50,000 under my mattress.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah. Except if you have 50
Cool
grand.
to say you have Bitcoin.
But is it
you
then?
can say I have Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Maybe don't say I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah.
Come and get me.
But is it then because when they grab my phone, they can get into it? Or how do I see it?
No, it's actually, what's that?
Just to prevent, you know. I mean, depends on your phone. Depends on if you have a password or not. Or, I mean,
yes, but
you know.
But when the phone is open,
you can set a PIN code, or you can secure with a fingerprint. So there's options within Exodus to make it harder to take your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have a password on your phone. You can have it on the app too.
Yeah, you definitely want to set a password for your Exodus wallet.
Yes.
All methods of security are about prevention.
Yeah, which is very easy to do. It's just down here in the, you know, there's only 3 little buttons here to navigate.
But
there's
wait,
settings.
I'm already behind. Wait a moment. I'm here. So I get started, right?
So yeah.
Get started.
Yeah, like the app has some things to walk you through it when you first go in there. So you even get a bit of help when you go in the first time.
Oh goodness. Receive. Now the message is receive.
It's like running you through the tutorial now.
Yeah, what it's doing is it's giving you a little tutorial. So yeah, when you go into Exodus, you'll already get a bit of help. You maybe don't have to look at it because you've got us here explaining it to you. So you can maybe, I mean.
Just go on.
As you like, yeah.
It's so easy to use this app. It'll take us like 10 seconds to show you everything.
I just go next, exchange, next, control your wealth, get started, I think. Get started. All right.
It does, yeah, it will. Yeah.
Portfolio value is 0. I think that is correct, yeah.
Right. So when you first come in and you're on this tab, the wallet tab, yes, what you're going to see is a list of different cryptocurrencies, and then what you have is your.
I think you can set it to show which ones you want to watch too. Like if you you care about the ones you care about, you can set. I think you can set it to put.
Right.
Like
you see here, there's a little add more thing, so I can add other currencies there if I want to. Mm-hmm. So you'll see on mine that I've got Bitcoin here and Ethereum. So now all you do, if you ever want to send or receive Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency, then you just go to Bitcoin. So tap on Bitcoin. Whoops. Okay, so now I'm at my Bitcoin. And it gives you a nice little chart. You guys can check out the price of Bitcoin. That'll show its price. So tap on Bitcoin.
Again,
Ingrid.
okay, I did it. I do it, but then tap on Bitcoin.
I think it's different if you tap on the symbol or in the middle of it.
I did tap on it, and then
show us where you're tapping so we can see.
I have this.
Okay, so
and then I tap on that. Maybe.
Yep.
But then it gives like that only.
Huh. Oh, don't tap on the.
Sorry, it depends where you tap. So don't tap on the logo. Tap right in the middle.
In the middle. Right. Yes. Yes.
So, Ingrid, when you tap on it, don't in the center of it.
Don't what?
Don't. The logo, tapping on the logo gives you like a quick send and receive feature.
Oh, I did it 3 times.
Yeah, you've got it now. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Here.
There's a little bit of lag.
Everyone has time to calm down a bit, especially me. Just breathe. We just breathe. So it didn't mean I just sent 3 times, right? No, because I didn't not put in anything.
I think you're doing everything fine just now.
Because I pushed on this logo 3 times. Was that a problem?
No.
No. Okay.
Looks good.
Okay. Right. Perfect. Okay. So the arrow that points up, if you tap on that, that's where you go to send Bitcoin.
Okay.
Also the same as in that little menu.
Yes, that is this one.
And then the arrow right. So if you tap on that, it'll bring you to a point that allows you to send it. And then the arrow that goes down is to receive Bitcoin.
Okay. Do I tap on it? Yeah. I don't. I can tap on it just like that?
Yeah, just tap on it and it'll bring you to a window.
Ah, yeah. This I understand.
And then that's where you...
The address you want to send it to. And then the one to receive will show you your address so that you can give that to someone to send something to you.
Now, isn't that easy?
Yeah,
right
kind of. Yes.
Put in the address, double check all your numbers, triple check.
And now they say my Bitcoin wallet is empty, so I don't have any Bitcoin to send. Well, that's true, of course. So how do I put something in it? You see, I already hesitate to say it. No, just joking. How do I put anything on it?
Well, you're going to have to receive some Bitcoin first.
Oh.
Before you can send any.
So you'll have to find somebody to give it to you, basically, or a way to get it. Yeah, so basically you can get it just from someone else sending it to you directly, or you can go through an exchange, which is similar to how you go and buy gold, for instance, and they'll charge you a little fee for providing that service all the time, because with an exchange you can buy anytime. With an individual, maybe they want to sell you now, maybe they don't, but the exchange is kind of always there, so they have a little fee to make it sustainable. Yeah, so those are the ways that I know. Or you could earn it in your job too, and then you give them your address and they send it there.
Do I then need to make an account or something that it's visible that it's me?
Already, the wallet is the account basically, and you have that. There's like if you click on the receive part, it'll show you your address, which is like a bank account number, basically. Similar.
With this
Yeah,
Exodus
so that-
wallet, it's a very simple tool. There's no way to buy Bitcoin within this. It's only allowing you to send and receive. So limited in that regard.
Yeah.
But I don't see where I see my number.
Go back.
Okay,
Go back?
so go
button.
back and go to receive.
That little down arrow on the right.
Ah,
And that'll show you
The QR code.
So that's your wallet address.
And you can, another
Yes.
person can just
Okay,
scan
hold
your
on.
code.
Okay, hold on. Show
Oh, yeah,
show
we'll
that
do
to
it.
me again, Ingrid. I'll scan it. I'll scan it.
Will that work?
Okay.
And now-
So now I've got your wallet in mine.
okay.
Impressive.
Address.
I've got your address.
Now we could send.
So now I can
Wow.
send you Bitcoin. Network fee 0.00044. That sounds kind of high. Let's see how much
It's
the
a
network
$10 fee right now.
Ah, that you say already. That's high, right?
Hash power's
Yes,
low.
that's very high. Wrong translator.
I would be
Translate
playing
it
with
for me.
Bitcoin Cash or digi byte, using a different currency right now, if possible.
And this address is always the same. This is now my address.
Yes.
For that wallet.
Exactly.
And you could have multiple wallets. You could have one on your computer or a hard wallet.
Wow, yeah, that's
Ingrid,
like a
you see how that
$7 fee. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. So we won't be sending any Bitcoin today for demonstration purposes. But we can do that later.
Yes, cool.
Yeah, so exactly. So if someone wants to send you Bitcoin, Ingrid, you just give them that address. That's all you have to do. So
And
if
now-
you, for instance, go...
No, cool. Speak
Go
on.
ahead.
Oh, no, I was just asking when I go out again.
I was just...
What?
Who is speaking?
Yeah, just hit, if you want to go out, just hit the back arrow if you want to go out.
And then when I go in next time, then I still have the same address. Or do I have a new address?
Oh yeah,
Same.
yeah.
Same.
For that wallet, yeah.
No,
For this
that is
wallet.
permanent address. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
one of the first things to do is to get your private keys so that if anything happens to that phone, you drop it in the toilet or whatever, you can download the app again on some other device, and then if you've got your private keys, you can access that same wallet again. It's like a password. for your
And where
account. So
you
can-
create that? In here maybe with the instellingen?
You're gonna go
Here?
into
Go to the settings tab. So you see at the bottom, there will be 3 buttons.
Oh, yeah.
And the button with the little person icon
On the right.
is your settings.
On which screen you
So,
are?
right.
You are back, I think, already. I'm still here.
Yeah, if you hit.
No, if you touch these buttons, they change the screen. So touch this button at the bottom right.
I don't have them. This is just for my phone, but I think you're in a different.
Yeah, hit
Okay, so
hit
go
the X out of that.
go
Yeah,
back.
it's on the main
Yeah, go back.
screen. Still X out
Yeah,
of it.
this one. Cool. Yeah,
Okay. So you want to go to this little guy here,
yeah. And then
and then
settings.
you're security actually,
Oh, security. Okay.
Mhm.
and then you'll just go to backup, and that's where you find your private keys.
So now I'm going to view it, right?
Yes, but don't share it with us.
Yeah. On the public. So that I did get. Very good. You.
It is
It's
important
just
to write
so
that down.
easy. It's just so easy.
And then?
So you'll want to maybe write those down and maybe store it in a safe place because, yeah, like Kelly said, if anything ever happens to your phone or your wallet, you can use that phrase of keys. You can use that to recover your account on any device.
And I need to write down all the keys, right? The whole line.
I mean, unless you can
All 12.
memorize it. Yeah.
Okay, I will do that later then.
I have a whole dedicated folder here called my crypto folder. It's kind of hard to see, but I have all my private keys written down in here as a backup in case I ever lose any of my tech. My money's in this folder.
What drawer do you keep that in specifically?
But also when I'm also thinking.
You gotta mislabel that folder like family photos or something, so no one ever goes in it.
And then
favorite thing.
Good idea.
So you don't save them online somewhere. No, that is a risk, right? But when
if you really want to get to know me, open this folder.
Yeah, you want to keep it safe like you would anything else that you're storing that's like passwords to your accounts or whatever.
Yeah, I'm always
keep it safe.
curious about fire also, anything like that. But
actually, when I store them online, I use a protectedtext.com, which is it's secured so that no one can really access it or see it. But even then, I still jumble the words around, basically, and then memorize my jumbling, so that if anyone was able to get a hold of it, it wouldn't work unless they know how to decode my own code. Yeah. So there's a lot of ways to be secure with it.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do, yeah. We're always just adding layers of security. There is no total security of anything in this world. It's always just a matter of time and barrier. That's
basically how the cryptography of Bitcoin works. Like theoretically you could figure it out, but it would take, like, with the current computing power we have in our world, it would take like 16 million years or something. It's just not feasible. So
that's why they have vaults at the bank.
So in a way, security,
but it just makes it take so long that somebody can get there to stop you in time. You know?
Yeah, right. It's just doing it first and then creating that barrier.
Yeah. And the other one is backup. Do I do something with that? I have the secure with the passcode and the backup. Oh no, the backup we were in, right? And then secure with the passcode. I can do that now, right? I also go in there. See what it is. Aha, then you just make numbers. I can do that, right?
Then to see what it's given you 12 rights for a passcode. Yeah, you just pick whatever numbers you want.
That will just lock your app so that you can't, no one will access it if you get a hold of your phone.
You just need to enter that passcode every time you want to get into the app.
Yeah.
I tend to use
some phones you can even set it through face.
Yeah, face or biometric security. A little faster.
I'm not so good in this, but I have now. Okay. Security enabled. And if I lose it, is there a way?
Those 12 words, that's your seed phrase. And from that seed phrase, it's able to generate private keys for basically any coin. So as long as you keep your seed phrase safe, you should be able to load it into any wallet and boot up your funds again. So
it is very important then that I write it down as soon as possible before there is any money on it. Yeah. Okay, that gives a bit of an insight in the exchanging, right? And then, oh no, that is it, right? Because I first need to receive and then I just give that code. And then after this, the sending is possible. And that's basically the same, I think.
If you'd like, I could send you some Bitcoin Cash or digi byte, something that's like a cheaper coin to send right now, just for practice.
To see how it works.
But is that, why is that cheaper? I don't understand that.
That's a long conversation, but essentially there's a lot of Bitcoin miners in China, and right now the rainy season is ending, so they're switching over to a more expensive power source. And so during that transition, and this is the narrative right now, but there's not as many computers working on the Bitcoin network as there was, 2 months ago. And so the price is
also,
yeah,
and also, we're entering a bull market with Bitcoin too, which means that there's a lot more activity on the network than normal. So,
greater workload.
And then the price goes up for sending.
Yes.
Right.
Which is actually a good feature, but like Dan was saying, this could be like a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
Using
I do look forward to it.
Actually using crypto like Bitcoin, I always tell people is like, that's the easiest thing. If you want to get into more of the theory side of how it all works, then that's a much deeper conversation. But actually using Bitcoin, sending and receiving, very easy. In fact, I would say it's easier than using money. So if any person's kind of looking at Bitcoin and cryptos and going, oh my gosh, this looks so difficult. Well, if you use money already, then you can definitely, it's going to be easier to use cryptos. So, it's just a matter of what we know and what we're familiar with. But, it's literally easier. Like if I can ever do business in Bitcoin, I will take it every time, because it's so much better than dealing with banks and all the control that comes along with dealing with banks. I mean, we talk about fees. Jesus Christ! Every time I go to an ATM that's not mine, I pay like a few dollars.
And here this November in Panama is like the month of holidays. So we just had 3 days of holidays in a row that the banks are closed, and we are waiting for money to be transferred, and we're still waiting because
this happens to us
holidays.
all the time. Because we're in a poor country with even crappier banking infrastructure.
Yeah.
So very frequently we show up to our bank and we're ready to take out money, and they're just like, "Oh, sorry, we don't have your money." That happens a lot to us.
Yeah. So everybody knows the bank holidays, but when do your needs ever take a holiday? Like your money is what you need to get to the store to buy your food, and Yeah. So it's a little
like what people have to really keep, and that's the thing people have to keep sight of, if maybe their financial situation is working for them and maybe they don't have to deal with a lot of headaches and bullshit, is that ultimately, like, the system as a whole is failing. Even if it's working for maybe you individually, the system as a whole is failing, and it's only a matter of time until it does fail for most people, if not everybody. So it's like anything, right? Better to be prepared and ahead of the game a little, if you could call it that.
Yeah, banks.
Yeah, the flip side of that is like FOMO and fear you're missing out all the time. So it's cool to be looking forward rather than looking backwards and getting emotional about it.
Yeah, it takes some effort, because I'm such a person that is now in a, just where everything still works in the banking systems and everything. So it looks easy. So it's a step for me to go into the Bitcoin, because it's new. I need to make an effort. I don't understand it directly. And where I am, it's just fine. So why should I do it? So there are very good reasons to keep in mind, like, yes. Yeah.
Because the easiest path, the one that's provided for you, is typically the one where there's reason. Nothing is free, and and it takes a little bit of effort to step off that beaten path.
And again, we're talking about the difference from my perspective, the big difference between our current monetary system and Bitcoin, which is a deflationary monetary system, which I mentioned at the beginning of this talk, the big difference there is that within our current system, you know, we are all incentivized to compete against each other because everything is about scarcity. And the way that we create new money just creates even more scarcity. It makes the value of everybody's money worth less. So instead of that, it works the opposite way, where if more people have it and use it, then the more the value of your Bitcoin is worth. So let's say, for example, Ingrid, you had 100 euros in Bitcoin, okay? And then let's say, you know, tomorrow or next week or something, the whole world woke up and everybody in the world decided to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. $10 worth of Bitcoin. That would inject how much money? 7 billion people times 10? $70 billion into Bitcoin. So just with that, the value of the money that you have would increase by quite a large percentage. That's what, maybe 20% of the entire market cap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just $10 per person. That's not a lot of money.
No. So then maybe next time we do, or just not maybe next time, but sometime we also do that account where I, let's say, put on $10, whatever. Maybe that's cool too then.
Yeah,
now
or maybe
I can exchange.
Maybe what we could do for next time is maybe you could find an exchange and we could do a walkthrough of doing like a Bitcoin purchase on an exchange if you wanted to do that.
I don't understand that a bit.
There are other wallets too that have exchanges built in. So there's different on-ramps, and finding one that works for your country with your local laws. Usually the governments try to have a control between the crypto and the fiat world. So if you're switching in between, you might have to do some KYC, know your customer stuff. And basically they're just trying to prevent money laundering. But it's another
so
basically,
Ingrid, an exchange is kind of like a bank, or when you go to an airport and you see like a currency exchange. It's just a business that's there all the time to exchange euros or dollars for Bitcoin. So they normally charge a small fee, but like Kelly was saying, it's worth it because their service is available all the time. So yeah, I would suggest maybe as a tiny bit of preparation for next time, maybe just, what country are you in, Ingrid?
Netherlands.
Netherlands. So maybe just Google like best Bitcoin exchanges in the Netherlands. And then the next time we have this chat, we can look at those, maybe one or two of those exchanges, and we could do a live video of us actually going and buying Bitcoin, which that could be pretty cool.
Okay, so let's recode that again. So I go Google and I'm looking for.
Let me send a link here. There is another way where you can go and scan cash right into your phone at an ATM. So there's like Bitcoin ATMs around the world as well, which is a little exchange.
Yeah, there probably are. I mean, we even have them here in Panama.
In Panama City. You can Google Bitcoin ATMs to actually get a map to see where the nearest ATM is to you. So yes, that's another great way to buy.
Just check the fees and things.
Yeah, fees are usually higher because the convenience is higher.
Yeah.
And also take note that the exchange feature inside of Exodus is not the same exchange that we're talking about. They're actually it's more of a swap, like an atomic swap between coins, where they'll go and they'll take your coins and they'll go to an exchange and do all that for you so that you can switch your coins pretty easily in the wallet.
Okay, I'm back. I understand it half, but I will open that link later. Maybe then it becomes a bit clear for me but then I already put something on it, or we do that next time together.
I mean, I would say investigate, do what you can, but don't worry about it. If you can't do anything with it, then just, keep a link or something. Next time we can all look at it together.
We can all look at it. I think that's cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then shall we do that little exchange that you suggested, or what do you say?
Well, we were going to, but that's why we're deciding now to instead maybe we'll buy from an exchange next week, because the sending fees are just too high right now. It just doesn't make sense for us to send each other money.
Yeah,
so, so that's why we're saying maybe next time.
That I understand, but then said something that is cheaper. There we didn't go into.
Oh yeah, you could trade another cryptocurrency, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe even for practice, look back into your Exodus wallet, click on add coins and see, and let's pick a coin.
Wait, I'm in this secured, okay. Continue now. Okay. I'm in my profile. I need to go back, right? To the, or are we looking at this? Is this all the?
That's it.
That's
good. So now you want to turn on a couple of coins, maybe like Ethereum. Ethereum I like digi byte.
You give me something that I look up.
Okay, let's do this. Type in with the search bar, type in DGB.
DGB. Digibyte.
There you go. I like this coin because their philosophy is permissionlessness. So it's similar to Bitcoin in that way. It's just newer, smaller, cheaper.
And I turned that one on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then back to your main screen.
Back to my main screen. Okay.
All right, now click on the DigiByte icon there. And click on receive.
Hey, baasje, je moet even wachten. But here I cannot find it. Yeah.
Did you go back?
I did go back. Now I have the whole row, but there are 4 others that are turned on, so I don't know why.
Go back to the home now.
I look it on again. Digibyte. Let's see if it is on. It is on.
Yeah, at the top left corner, there's a little back arrow. You just need to go back to the main screen now that it's turned on. Or maybe I'm actually in a different app here.
Here, Digibyte. I'm not sure if I'm good.
Looks like it. Yeah. Now just click on it.
There's Digibyte. DGB, right? Yeah, Digibyte. Okay. Okay, like this.
Nice. And now hit the little down arrow.
Sorry?
And hit that little arrow, or hit the arrow so that you can see your QR code like you did with Bitcoin.
That is receiving, right? Like down, going down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
There we go. Nice. Okay, I got it. So just gonna verify the first 4 letters and the last 4 letters. I see here ESTA.
Yeah.
And at the end I see KBU9.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, now here I'm gonna send you 100 digibyte, and the network fee is 0.0000 USD. So it's basically free to send you this. And it should be really quick too, just because their network is efficient. Now here I have network hash. It says, it's basically, I have the receipt is this hash here.
So
And you should be,
there is something on now, right?
huh, look at that.
Oh, wait.
It's making sure that you wrote down your seed phrase now that you
Oh,
actually have money in it.
then I go to backup now.
Yeah, and then write that down just to be safe.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool that you can scan QR codes through a Zoom call. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me think of like scanning barcodes back in the day and how much of a pain in the ass they could be. QR codes, it's like you can be like at an angle, like barely, you know, it barely syncs up and it's so easy. Versus the old barcodes, you could like, like 100 times and just nothing. Yeah, cryptography is an interesting subject. I was watching a little short documentary a few days ago about like this, what they call like the cypherpunks, and how these people with like a very like rebellious kind of like punk-like spirit, like a few individual, very small few group of individuals specifically, is a practical way that they could actually like, how can I say, like give stance, like give an unwavering stance to their principles because they realize the power of cryptography and how it provides security. So Bitcoin in a way is like been the first kind of like practically achieved, decentralized, completely distributed, decentralized technology that was created as part of the whole like cypherpunks movement. Because that started happening way back in like the early, I think late 80s even. It wasn't like until like 20 years later that like the cypherpunks were around, that like Bitcoin was finally invented. And yeah, anyway, interesting little history there. If anyone wants to get into like
punks.
Yeah, like I don't know why they don't call them cyberpunks. I don't know what a cipher is, but yeah. What is a cipher?
I think cyberpunk was taken.
Cool. Now I wrote it down.
Like cipher, like decipher. Okay. Sorry.
No problem. I just
Excellent.
write it. Now I have
You
this,
got
right?
You have 100 digibytes now.
Okay.
You did it.
And now I just leave it there?
No, you send it back.
Yeah, I want that.
No, just kidding. You can keep it.
I send it back, right? That's cool to practice or not?
Yeah, you can send it to Kelly. How about that?
I send it to Kelly.
The price of it just went up like 10 times in the last minutes. So yeah.
Your gain, my loss.
I don't know if you're joking or not.
He's joking.
Well, it's a joke. It's a joke. Alluding to the point that about now that you're sending and receiving something that fluctuates in value, then you probably are going to start thinking about when is the time that I'm giving these away and taking them in, because yeah, the price changes over time, and that'll be maybe a bit of a next step to learn, is to start understanding how the price cycles work, because then you can start, you know, basically saving and cashing out Bitcoin at certain times that are more opportune, that give you a bit of an advantage through working with just the flow of the mainstream and the long-term cycles.
Okay, but what did you send me? Can we share that? Right, we can share this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 0.0201. Or
That's
is there...
the value. That's the value of one coin. But below that, you see you have 100 of them now.
Oh.
It's a little confusing. It's just telling you the price per coin at the top there. So digibyte's worth 2 cents, every one of them.
I've 102 cents from you.
Yep.
Oh.
$2. $2 is another way to say it.
Oh.
You're funny.
I don't know what to say. But it's really new, you know. So after 10 years, when this 10 doubles, then I can fly to you, right?
There we go.
And we can meet one time. Okay, cool. Yes. But I guess it is cool to also one-time practice with the sending, maybe?
Or exchange. You could try exchanging your digibyte for Bitcoin to see in the app how much it would give you. It won't be very much, or it may not even be possible because it's such a small amount.
Ah, here, exchange.
Yeah, that will allow you to swap between currencies.
And you won't, she won't be able to, because you have to have some Ethereum to be able to do those swaps.
Yeah, it's 0.0. I think nothing happens, right? Or is it? This is what it's saying.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
I was just saying she won't be able to swap anything because you have to have a certain amount of Ethereum to be able to do a swap on Exodus.
Really? Even if you're not touching the Ethereum blockchain?
As far as I know, yeah, to exchange any currency on Exodus.
Right.
I think Exodus, yeah, I think they use Ethereum somehow to do the swaps.
Huh.
So you have to have some Ethereum to do exchanges on Exodus.
Maybe what's cool, I leave it there and the amount doesn't change. And then next time we look at it.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool.
Get a sense for volatility.
I'm getting greedy here. I keep it. It's my $2. It's my starting.
Put it in your shoebox, in your saving.
Thank you.
Funny money. Money makes you funny. Money just makes you more of who you are.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
No, but it's an interesting process that way with money. You know, it can bring out all kinds of interesting things about you, and in a way, I find quantify and compound your process, because everything is in a way just happening faster. You get to experience exactly the.
So whatever you're living is going to be more enabled.
Yeah.
Through having access to do things.
Yeah,
yes,
more
yes.
faster.
So that's
Yes.
why you see some people kind of a bit reckless and get wrecked, because whatever, and those ones serve as examples of what can happen when, say, you're living out points of desire to be wealthy and this and it can be a trap. When you're enabled to go to that path to the extreme. Something to learn from.
One example for myself where I've noticed my, I guess my personality come through in the monies is trying to like chunk away little pieces over here and little pieces over there. And it's almost like a fear of survival or not having enough in the future. And so I have like way more accounts than I really need, which I've been looking at, because money interviews talk about how you can hide money kind of in your mind and from yourself, and that hidden money is the mind will kind of thrive with. The mind really likes that stuff.
Yeah,
So it's good to have,
cool to,
hold yourself to account, basically. Make sure you know what you have and what you're doing with it.
So
yeah,
like
it'd be
having,
cool to look at like what are the kind of points that we face within our relationship towards money, and how to practically sort through those so that we make sure that we're doing the best for ourselves and everything.
sorry, just to make sure I'm understanding clearly, Dan, you mean like having like a lot of different kind of eggs in different baskets kind of thing versus being more consolidated kind of thing, or?
Yeah, kind of to like where it's, maybe it's like the uncertainty about my future is like, oh, I don't know what will be in the future. So maybe I'll just tuck away, a couple of digi bytes over here in this wallet and a couple of this coin over there in that wallet, and just kind of sending it into the future, not really necessarily having a full deliberate plan for it. And it's almost like a security or an insurance policy, but it's a little bit vague. So.
But
Yeah.
what is more secure in having so many wallets than having everything in one wallet?
It's the principle of diversification. So that's all.
To me, sorry. To me, it's the point of like not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? That's for classic, good, sound financial advice, and generally with things and resources in your life, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that's generally how I've always like tried to look at things too. Although it was interesting, I was challenged one time on that point back when I was like in my techno Twitter days, and I was really heavily studying like entrepreneurs, and it was Grant Cardone. If anyone's ever listened to that guy, he planted a couple seeds with me, because I find as far as those like entrepreneur, rich people type who are out there giving people advice, he's one of the more down to earth, straightforward guys out there. Anyway, the point with Grant Cardone is he brought up the point of like putting all your eggs in one basket versus not, and someone just straight up asked him on the show, like, your advice on that, do you think that's a good idea, like distributing your assets kind of thing? And his response was like very condescending. He's just like kind of started grinning. He's like, I think honestly, he's like, I think that's for little baby pussy, cold feet fuckers can't commit, can't dedicate themselves to anything, don't really know what's up, what's down. And he kind of, it was interesting to see how he just like ridiculed the point. Because to me, that was like, what? Like, no, like that's what you do generally, or that's anyway how I was managing things. But I guess the only point it made me consider was just the point of like, the point I couldn't deny was the realness and the gravity with which he said it. Because I could tell it wasn't just some guy giving this like propped up, good sounding, nicely presented, sound financial advice. It was like gangster. He's like having a little chuckle at like everybody who thinks that's the way to go. Meanwhile, you can tell like he's probably doing well with whatever it is he's busy with in his investments. So yeah, it just kind of did bring up that point to me of like, but what if you are clear and certain about the point that you're supporting and standing for and as, then is it so smart to put all your eggs in different baskets? Well, I mean, I've done that in many ways within many facets of my life. And it's like a lot of things, it's like destiny, where it's like, I can get so distracted with so many other things in my life and have so many different eggs in different baskets, but I always come back to like destiny, basically, and like the core things, the core things that really matter at the end of the day. So anyway,
well, and there's just no replace, like, be aware of the baskets. It's like,
of course,
if you're just doing it from a point of, I've got to do this as an idea, then but what about investigating actual reality? It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter intrinsically if I put my eggs in this basket or that basket or a couple baskets. Just know your baskets, know what you're doing. Just be aware about it.
Key point that you're speaking to is just being conservative versus progressive. If you really know what you're working with and you're confident, then it's like, yeah, put all your resources into the edge of the sword blade and make that, you know, and be very deliberate with it. Or if you're not so certain, then maybe diversify and chill out for a little bit. It's safer that way. So
Yeah,
But I
if you're
find
not going for safety.
But I find like in life, that's generally how it is. You know, I can only spread myself so thin, and ultimately there's like a few key things in my life that I know I can really commit to. You know, Bitcoin is one of those things. My partner is one of those things. This land and the house that we built is one of those. So really, like, my life can only be summed up into like a few basic things that I go all in on, because you realistically, like, what can you do? And you can only spread yourself so thin in this world. So yeah, anyway.
But is it then when you spread it with the Bitcoin in several baskets, is it because something can happen with the basket? I can understand that. So then you do not lose it all. Or is it also because you have different kind of waves where the money goes up or down in different baskets, so you have more chances?
A little bit of both. You insulate yourself from price volatility, or if you move a little bit more into another basket, maybe you're taking a gamble because you think that one's going to go up. So there's a lot of ways to manage.
It can
Go ahead.
Yeah, it can be seen as a secure measure because you've got, you know, a few different things that you're invested in. So if some things fail, then at least you have more things, you have more of a chance, kind of like buying many lottery tickets. But then the other side of that is that can very easily turn into gambling, because then you're just like, well, if I just buy more ticket, like based on that logic, then if I have more tickets, then I'll have more chances. So I just need to buy as many tickets as possible. And it doesn't necessarily always work that way. A person can buy 1,000 lottery tickets and never win. Another person could buy just one ticket, and that happens to be the winning ticket. So it can easily turn to gambling as the other side of it.
I'm kind of seeing the future as all gambling.
All things.
It's how we manage our money and what baskets you put it in. It's kind of like our responsibility to be educated and smart about that. So yeah, it's gambling, but you don't want to gamble recklessly.
I think it also then is different per person who you are in it, everything, what you feel safe with, what.
What you have access to, what you have time to investigate.
Okay, cool.
Totally.
I was thinking about rounding it off because we have a nice time now. Did you want to add something, Adrienne, because you started something?
No.
Cool for now?
Nothing more. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I liked it. I learned a lot today. No, really, I laugh, but it's really new. So it's really a bit like, ooh, but I'm really grateful. Yes, it's opening a new area for me. So very cool. Thank you a lot. And to be continued.
And I hope this helps some other people that are looking to start their Bitcoin wallets. Just follow through the steps. It's that simple.
Yes.
Yeah. If we can do it, anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. If anyone needs help, let's say place a comment under this YouTube, and then someone will respond or be guided with it to one of you for an answer. Shall we do it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. So questions can be placed under this YouTube of the Zoom. Okay, thanks everyone for watching the copy of it, because no one else is live at the moment. Thank you all three. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And your lovely cat there. What's the name again? The red one? Rufina. Yes. Okay. Okay, we hold it. Adrian is not going to hold us for long, so we close it off. Bye.
Bye, everyone.